there, viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. We're sitting inside of a 2010 Chevrolet Malibu, and it has the VIN 0, the Flex Fuel 4-banger in it. Customer complaint is it needs a tune-up, and of course, I called the customer after seeing that in our notes in there, and asked them what the complaint is, and apparently it is a hard start in the morning when it's cold. Starts, chuggles, coughs, spits, pukes, hold your foot on the gas, keep it running, and then all of a sudden, boom, runs good, and away we go. Semi-common on these. I'm going to show you what's going on. Flex fuel engine being the key. We've done other videos on these. Now there is no check engine light, and I've already started it up and drove it in, so it's probably going to start fine now. Yeah, so it starts good now. It is mostly a cold weather related problem when these happen, or that initial startup. So I'll show you some scan data, show you what I see. Take and fire this pig up. Alright, and whoa, hang on fella. I am using the Tech 2, and the first thing we're going to watch is these fuel trims. As soon as this little fella hits closed loop here, make sure we have live data. Trying to do the classic reach around on the camera here, so hopefully this is showing up for you guys. Alright, and there it is. So you can see, look at our short-term fuel trim is at minus 10. I think it went to like minus 20 when it first kicked over. It's kind of hard to tell the way it flickers there, but essentially it is into double digits. So let's say it's around 12%. Add that with long term, that puts our total trim around 17. The update rate is so fast, it's nothing but a blur. Bring it back to an idle. So yeah, our total fuel trim, see the engine just got a little surgy right there. A little chuggly. Of course, it's starting to warm up now. But our total fuel trim is pretty high. Now it's going to start making adjustments here on our long term. Let's see where that ends up. Minus 10. So it's not too often you get cars come in that are correcting for a rich condition. Not impossible, but so it looks like it's kind of happy there around negative 11. So I'll show you where we're going to go from here instead of watching this all day. If you have a customer that has this complaint, we're going to go under special functions. Now, depending on what scan tool you're using, you're going to want to go, you'll be able to find this data that we're going to look at under fuel trim data, which for whatever reason GM on their scan tool does not put the alcohol content in their regular data. So you actually have to go under the composition reset to read alcohol content, which we're going to find. Okay, so in this case it's at 26%, which we have no E85 around here at all. Anywheres. So, and there again, our long term is run around negative 12. So it's taking away fuel. It's essentially is the easiest way to put it. So when that's cold, that becomes a problem. What we're going to do is we're going to reset the fuel alcohol content with a push of a button. And now we will go back down to our fuel trims. Let's see. Backpack out of here. We're going to reset our fuel trims. That way we don't have to wait for the data to rebuild here. So we're going to reset our fuel trims. Now I don't recall if when you do the alcohol reset, if it resets the trims. I don't remember right offhand. Just do it as a precautionary. Now we're going to take and we're going to back out. We're going to walk back up to some data. Go back out to our fuel trim data. Now a lot of aftermarket scan tools will do the alcohol compensation reset. And that'll fix a lot of problems on your flex fuel GMs. So we'll see where this ends up. Total trim, our long-term trim. So learning is enabled right now. 4 is at negative 12. So I'll let this run a little bit and see what our final verdict is. So after several minutes, maybe 10 minutes, I don't remember where we left off, I had to take a phone call. It seems to be happy around -3, which I'm happy with that also. And we'll take and pop in here. So these are some old codes that are stored in there. 1174 fuel trim cylinder balance, not uncommon to see. System rich, system lean, low voltage on bank 1 sensor 1. So these are not uncommon problems to see when the alcohol content gets all goofed up. The other thing we have to do is we have to make sure that this has the latest calibration in it as far as the ECM being programmed. A lot of times after you do these, there is an actual ECM update that has to be done also. I believe we left off looking up cal IDs. I've never been interrupted so many times in one video, but I am here by myself today. At any rate, I grabbed the engine calibration IDs, which you can get out of Mode 9 data, like on your generic OBD scan tool. And what we need to do, now there's going to be like fuel system IDs, main system IDs, you know, which I don't know which of these is which, but what I did, I just logged into GM's TIS2 website, and I pulled up the entire history for this VIN number under the engine programming, you know, like I say, specific to this VIN to see what calibration IDs are current. And what we want to do is we want to go down to the fuel system, look at that, and here is the calibration ID, the calibration part number, and you can see right here, new calibration with diagnostic enhancements for P0172. So that is the update, and what we need to do here is compare, you know, compare on the scan data or scan tool which one is which. So we can see here the original part number. Sorry about the whole camera thing here. Let's see, ends in 38. See 12640-387. I'm sorry, that's the new one. The old part number is 126-17513. We can see 126-17513. That is the current software that's in this car for the fuel system. The new one is that one that ends with a 387 that has the update. So this car does need a PCM calibration update to help correct, you know, the P0172, these rich codes. As far as how it changes the strategy, I don't know. I know it does. The majority of these that have the alcohol compensation problem or composition problem have a service bolt-in for a PCM programming that, you know, goes with it to prevent this from happening again. So I've got our battery maintainer on there. I got it set at 13.5 volts. Now that is the OTC 700A, I believe is the part number. Yeah, it is 700A. So that's going to keep a constant voltage up to 70 amps to the vehicle. We're using the Bosch MasterTech VCI. I've got that plugged into the data link, hooked up to our computer. We are logged into the TIS2 website, and then we're just going to go through the calibration update process. And here we go. So we're going to click SPS there, get through all this mumbo jumbo. Now with GM, you got to be careful with what version of Java you run. You don't want to update it once you have the version that they like. They're kind of fussy. Of course, all these freaking cars are different. It's almost like you got to have a different laptop for everything. So we'll let this go through, and it's gonna, the key is on already. We want to run this. Run. When we get to this next part, we're gonna have to skip through and select our Bosch module. Now make sure you're either doing this, so this part here wants to know if we have the MDI, which we have an MDI and a Tech 2, but we're not using either one of those, so we're gonna click skip. It's gonna kind of go through and do its thing. Let's see, J2534 MVCI. We're going to do a Ecm Reprogram because we're not replacing it. It gives us some directions here. Make sure I did plug that in. I did plug that in. And this is a Chevy. I know what year it is again. 2010. So we're going to scroll down. Pick 2010, passenger car. Malibu, throws a gang sign. Now it's talking to our VCI that's down inside the car blinking right now. It's gonna get together the VIN information, of course the current calibrations that are on it. Make sure that's our VIN. 367 is the last punch. So we'll hit next. We're gonna come up here, we're gonna find ECM, TCM. We'll hit next. Now there may be some other calibration ID selections that we have to make, and we have to go through each one of those to see if it pertains to this vehicle. Like I said, the main one we're concerned with is the fuel system update. So this will take a minute here. It's gathering data. Here we go. So if we go down to fuel system, current calibration is 513, and you can see over here it has the check mark by the 387 right down here on the bottom of the screen, just like we had talked about earlier. Let's see, that one is current, and so I'm looking to see if it's current. So you got your current calibration, and then you know what it is over here. Fuel system needs to be updated. Speedo's current, engine. This one is a totally 638, new calibration to address the surge in 5th and 6th gear. So there's going to be an update that they're getting that they haven't even had a complaint about yet. So yeah, it sort of appears to be the engine operating system for this, you know, transmission deal. Evidently it has in high ambient temperatures. That'll be repaired. And then of course this one here, our fuel system. So we're going to hit next. It gives you the current, and then you're selected. Same thing with the TCM. You know, old IDs, new IDs. So sometimes this is good to, yeah, and it's got another one in the TCM it's going to get for improved delay going into reverse. Another update here for transmission diagnostics, delayed reverse engagement. So you can see all the different updates it's getting. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. Then we hit next, and then we wait. Sometimes these are quick, sometimes 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. It really depends. But at this point, like I say, either, you know, be outside of the car or in the car, so you're not opening doors and turning modules on and, you know, causing problems. So we'll wait for this to go through. What's it say? So the estimated time you'll see will count down really quick there. And I'll quit talking to this point and put the video in fast forward. Boom, just like that. I don't know why they put a counter on there when it's never really accurate. Right now it says it's reprogrammed transmission control module. So just be patient, wait for it to finish. Same thing, it does the engine first, then the training module. And now I'll put it in fast forward again for you. All right, our programming results are a pass and a pass, so we will click OK. It's going to have, you know, likely set a bunch of codes, some U codes, you know, stuff of that nature. We're going to take and just, because we can right from here, we're going to clear the codes out of it. We'll go back in with the Tech 2 just to be sure, make sure it didn't set a, you know, a bunch of codes in other modules. As soon as this is done, we're going to shut the key off, unhook our charger. All right, so now we'll shut the key off. Come over here. Let's see. Turn that little guy off, let the blower kick on. Unhook our battery cables. There's that. It's been at least 30 seconds. So we should be able to fire this little gem up. We're gonna have to do the classic dive in, reach around. All right, we didn't make a brick, and that's always good. Of course, service tire monitor lights on. All right, we'll shut her down. Beautiful, beautiful job, fellas. We're back inside this hot rod. We'll shut our lights off. I just have to re-enter the data. And what we can do is we can come in, we can also verify, like I say, this engine cal ID data is available through any generic OBD2 scan tool. You're going to go under mode 9, and that should give you your calibration IDs. And we come down and we can see, pick up our, where was fuel system again? Yeah, so fuel system's right there. That's the newest part number, that 387 for the 172. We can see right here that that cal ID has been changed. So we're golden. And now, oops, make sure we don't have any codes, which it should have cleared them all. Now, oddly enough, if you wanted to skip the alcohol, the learned value of the alcohol, so yes, we have no DTCs. If you wanted to just skip that and do the ECM update, you would think it would reset it. However, it doesn't. According to the TSB, I haven't tried it myself, but according to the TSB, it does not reset it because they have a big warning in there. I'll see if I can leave a copy of the service bulletin that they associate with these cars in the description box. Oops. Because it gives big warnings, you know, not to just do the update and assume it's going to reset the alcohol value. Which, if you ask me, I would say, yeah, it should. We can see our fuel trim, our learned fuel trim that we had has already been reset, so I'm sure it's going to settle back in around. I'd be curious to see where it settles in around. I would assume we're going to be about in the same boat we are once everything gets settled, but looking like +3 right now, +4. We'll let her warm up, see where it ends up, just out of curiosity. It seems to start to become in its happy place around +3%. And then the fuel trims keep bumping negative there a little on the short term. I'm happy with it. I'm happy if you are, but you can see we've done nothing other than an ECM update, and you know, our fuel trims have changed just that much. I'm super happy with those numbers. Right now I'm just going through, I'm going to let it ping all the modules, make 100% sure we didn't store any codes in there, you know, no com codes when the ECM goes offline for the programming, stuff like that, which it doesn't appear that we have at this point. So I'm going to call it. We're going to leave it at that, folks. I'm happy with it. However, I am going to leave the car outside overnight. It's supposed to dip down into the single digits. I just want to verify before I give the car back to the customer that indeed it is fixed, which I have no reason to doubt that it is, based on their symptoms, based on what I experienced when I pulled it in and started it up cold. Pretty classic. And also based on the fact that, you know, GM even has a service bulletin out on this. Now, I believe we've done other videos on this. I believe there was a Chevy pickup that was skewed a lot more. I think in the video we did, it was in the, you know, high 70 percentile rich codes. I don't recall if that one had a service update. Some don't. I just did an Avalanche the other day. That was a 08, I believe it was an 08 Avalanche 5.3 flex fuel, rich codes. I went out in the parking lot, you know, got the codes, you know, drove around with the guys like, you know, it's alcohol, you know, reset, fuel trims are pegged out. Did that, drove around, everything's perfect. Told him that there was an ECM update for it, came in to look to be sure before he left, and lo and behold, there wasn't. So some there are, some there aren't. So check. Also, keep in mind that as much as you may not like it, or I may not like it, you know, nowadays we don't always fix cars with, you know, wrenches and screwdrivers. You know, like this lady wanted. She wanted a tune-up because the car ran poorly. You know, spark plugs. You know, they've been dumping stuff in the tank. You know, seafoam and trying this and trying that. Can't make it. You know, can't fix it. So obviously it needs a tune-up. Tune-ups are not always parts anymore. A lot of it is, you know, this mumbo jumbo. I'm not saying I like it, but I can't change it, and it's only going to get worse. And that's a fact. You know, well, I was just at TST seminars, and, you know, there's guys there demonstrating stuff from the, you know, for these autonomous vehicles, ADAS. I don't remember all the acronyms, but, you know, Keith deals with this crap every day in the body shops and relearning these sensors and cameras and, You know, it's just, it's going to get to the stupid point. So you either got to or get off the proverbial pot or close your doors, because this is what the world's coming to. And I'm just trying to adapt with it. We'll leave it at that. Go down, smash that thumbs up if you like the video. I know not all of you do. So if you don't, be sure to hit the thumbs down. Let us know how much the videos suck. Tell us why. Find us on our socials, Patreon, all that business. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.